I whisper to my wife. I ask her not to hate me for turning her into a fierce ghost. I need to become the peerless Donghua. Casual goal, right? I need power to avenge her and our child. So I have to do this. No cheerful brochure included. A scream tears out of the dark. But before all this nightmare soup, I once have a happy family. Yes, I remember sunshine. Then those so-called 5 family heads show up. They want to protect their precious fortunes. They brutally hurt my wife. Even my son, born with the Bayou Qilan fate. They sacrifice him to an evil god. Right now, Sun Yan, now a red-robed fierce ghost, follows my orders. She seals the coffin lid. She keeps watch nearby. Her energy feeds this place like spooky fertilizer. A red-robed fierce ghost carries terrifying resentment. The moment she is born, she already reaches 3rd rank red-robed level. Her energy blankets all hiching in one dramatic whoosh. Someone bows and calls for Lord Mingzuan. He says his eyelids have been twitching for days. He begs the great lord for guidance. Very fancy panic. Mingzuan calls him a foolish human. He asks why the man is panicking. He says Haiching merely has a powerful ghostly force. That force has crashed into the man's luck. He tells him to hire a few rich Shimin families. The man mutters about a fierce ghost in huge Haiching. He wonders why it has to come for him. He suspects the sacrificed Qilan child from days ago. He fears the child has returned for his life. He grabs the phone with a nervous hello. He says money is no issue this time. He begs someone to come to Haiching fast. He boasts that if he destroyed me once, then he can destroy me again. Cute confidence. Someone senses the resentment. He says it may punch a hole through Haiching's sky. He decides this job will cost the old man dearly. He praises the old master's welcome feast, but he notes the urgent summons. He knows it cannot be simple. Ding ding, correct. The old man snorts at his cultivation level. He says the man must sense trouble upon entering Haiching. The city's resentment is nearly turning solid. The visitor calls him old master. He asks which evil star the old man offended. The old man cuts off the chatter. He asks if the resentment can be removed. The visitor weighs this level of resentment. He says a massive injustice must be behind it. He demands the truth about that day. He says he may not live to spend the pay. The old man admits the 5 families did something. He says that household had no survivors. Supposedly. He explains the heart belongs to fire, pure yang. They pulled out the heart vein origin. On the 7th day, it met moonlight. That creates fatal energy soaring to the heavens. The thing in the woman's chest cannot be found. He never expects the male head of the family to survive. He really never expects him to vanish with the corpse. Then things get even stranger. Every camera record in Haiching involving him somehow gets mysteriously destroyed. How convenient. The visitor performs karmic backtracking. He says this eerie thing has gained intelligence. At minimum, it is 3rd rank red-robed. If it finds a gene land, after 1 month in seclusion, a ghost king is born. Someone asks what happens at 5th rank. The visitor answers, at 5th rank, it can move freely in daylight. Then nobody in Haiching can protect the old man. The old man submits to the master's orders. He says he only wants the ghost removed. Money is not a problem. Ah, the classic curse coupon. The visitor says he will call reinforcements. He wants to make absolutely sure. Qian Fengzi scolds Lin Zheng for letting Xiao Wu roam in sunlight. He asks what kind of father does that. Lin Zheng tells Senior Qian not to rush. He says his son has the rare Qiyang fate. A little sunbathing counts as calcium, apparently. Qian Fengzi tells him to stop joking and hear the big job. He asks if Lin Zheng dares take it. Lin Zheng says even Qian Fengzi cannot handle this mess. He says going there would be serving himself on a plate. He refuses to go, senior brother or not. He reminds him about Granny Mingy. He says that old woman is ruthless with prices. Xiao Wu's Yellow Springs guide fee is 2 million. His formation skills are not as good as Qian Fengzi's. If he loses his life, who sends his son to reincarnation? Qian Fengzi says this job pays double that travel fee. Lin Zheng says not even 10 times the money works. He swears he still will not go. He asks his senior brother to leave. He insists he will not take the job. Qian Fengzi tells his junior brother to stop being stubborn. He claims he is no longer who he used to be. He says this client is rich enough to rival a kingdom. And it is not just about money. Xiao Wu needs dragon saliva grass and soul sand. The client can get both. Fancy shopping list. He asks if Lin Zheng wants Xiao Wu forever trapped. A lonely ghost who never sees the light. He reminds Lin Zheng that Xiao Wu is his son, and half his own disciple too. Lin Zheng finally agrees, for Xiao Wu, but he warns his senior brother this is the last time. Lin Zheng tells Xiao Wu his dad hates letting him go. But the child cannot stay trapped in a tiny jar forever. The father must find him another path. Even if that path is paved with his own life. Lin Zheng asks Qian Fengzi to get to the point. He asks what level of dirty thing they face. Qian Fengzi wants the 8 Wastelands demon trapping formation. He needs it to lock down a red-robed fierce ghost. The thing is around 3rd or 4th rank now, but they must prepare for 5th rank power. Lin Zheng says if the materials arrive, forget 5th rank. Even if a real ghost king comes, he can rip off a layer of its hide. Bold seasoning. My flying zombie becomes an eagle beast. Their doomsday has arrived. Nice dramatic lighting. But a flying general still is not enough. On the day the heavenly demon strikes the 7 killings, I will become the only emperor in this world. Sun Yin asks if this is the rebirth I gave her. She says if the human world cannot accept us, then we will turn it into our yellow earth. I feel this power and wonder what it even is. It will not stop. Wonderful. Power with no brakes. Sun Yin tells me she hears my heartbeat. 9th rank peak. With this kind of power, she feels she can shred that old bastard instantly. Sun Yin says she cannot wait. She only needs to kill that old thief-ean beast, then use his heart blood to sacrifice the blade. Then she can break rank and become a queen. She calms down and says rage just got the wheel. She knows I endure heavenly fire and red thread soul locks. All for the peerless Donghua 99 days from now. She will not act alone and ruin my grand plan. She says she will stay here. She will accompany me into the earth, ean beast. I let them live another 99 days. When the heavenly demon strikes the 7 killings, I will make all Haiqing bury itself with us. My roar shakes loose what little peace remains. I tell Shaoan not to be afraid. I am rebuilding his divine body underground. His mother guards him above. The people who hurt him, the evil god that stole his life energy, I will spare none of them. Since they wanted a Qilin child, I will let them take a good look. This is a true hell Qilin. Just like that. Those useless Xianmen fools will never discover my secret. Nice. Even Doom deserves a little applause. The resentment is gone. All that resentment across the city. How could it vanish cleanly overnight? The old man laughs like his fear got evicted. He thanks the crippled immortal sincerely. He says once last night's fog cleared, the stone in his heart finally dropped. He keeps laughing. Nervous joy has volume. Qian Fengzi says he and Lin Zheng never fought last night. The old man asks how it was not their work. He wonders if the ghost got scared. Maybe it fled overnight, tail between spooky legs. Qian Fengzi says the red-robed ghost follows his karma. Unless the old man dies, it absolutely will not leave. The old man asks how to explain the city's resentment. Qian Fengzi says it spread everywhere before, because the ghost had just transformed. It could not control its power, so it leaked. Now the black energy vanished for one reason. The ghost has not only matured, it has learned perfect control. Gold Star, Nightmare Edition. It has pulled back every shred of resentment. Now it hides somewhere in Haiqing, watching them like a venomous snake, waiting for them to slip. The old man catches the meaning. The ghost thing has not left. Instead, it has become stronger. It drained a whole city's resentment in one night. Qian Fengzi fears the ghost has entered 5th rank. Surprise, Nightmare got promoted. He says that growth speed basically punches heaven's rules in the nose. He warns Haiqing is about to change skies. Lovely weather report. The old man begs the master to have a solution. He asks how much money it takes. Panic opens the wallet. 1 million, 10 million. Numbers start doing jumping jacks. He only wants that thing gone for good. He offers half the Yin family's fortune. Big fear, bigger checkbook. Qian Fengzi says once it reaches 5th rank, just he and Lin Zheng alone, their odds are under 30%. Math joins the horror. He names Xintong Zhenren, famed as first in thunder arts. Only if that master leaves seclusion can they suppress this vicious thing. The old man agrees so fast his dignity slips. He tells them to invite Master Xintong quickly. He lets the master name any price, as long as his life stays attached to him. Qian Fengzi says senior brother Mingkong has work now. Mingkong greets Qian Fengzi with a rough laugh. He asks why Qian is not feasting in Haiqing with Lin Zheng. He wonders why Qian remembers a poor monk like him. Qian admits he has met a hard nail. By cautious estimate, it is a 5th-rank red-robed ghost. He and Lin Zheng are not confident. Sensible panic. Finally, they need Mingkong's Vajra demon-subduing hand to anchor them. Mingkong repeats 5th rank. He says that job means tying one's head to the belt. He asks if the boss can pay life risk money. Qian says the boss has spoken. Once the job is done, Mingkong Temple gets a 5 million donation. Mingkong asks how much incense money. Qian says 5 million is enough. Mingkong decides the deal is his. Monk math wins. Red robe or green robe, he does not care. He vows to crush the ghost's soul, then use it to light lamps. Cozy, in a horrifying way. He says he is leaving at once. He will reach Haichang by tonight at the latest. Another old sinner chuckles about 20 years passing. He remembers that family's little girl crying sweetly. My fists itch. He says he personally sent her on the road. He blames them for seeing the brothers' dirty secret. So they killed them, as casually as squashing flies. He says Haiching stayed peaceful for 20 years. To him, even heaven refuses to take them. Bold delusion. Someone shuts down the dusty old debt talk. He says the current trouble is the red-robed ghost in 3 days. Lin Zheng will set the formation on site. Mingkong will lead the attack. Qian Fengzi will finish it. 3rd rank or 5th rank, they do not care. He wants the ghost to regret being born. Dramatic little team speech. Lin Zheng leaves Xiao Wu with Granny Mingi. If he fails to come back, he begs her to send the boy into reincarnation. Granny Mingi says she has taken the money, and she will do the job. But she asks if Lin Zheng truly thinks he returns. A voice chants that good earns good, and evil earns evil. Finally, accounting I enjoy. The chant repeats, good earns good. It says payment is never absent. Only the time has now arrived. Someone feels that crushing pressure. They wonder if it is really just an Avicii red robe. Lin Zheng says the compass has gone crazy. Sun Yin calls them dogs of the Yin family. She says their stink clings to them. Even from 10 li away, she wants to vomit. Same, honestly. She smells a reek of sin. She has waited a full 20 years. A scream pops out like fear stepping on a nail. Sun Yin marks the first one down. A sharp yes slips through the blood-chilled air. Their exorcism charm fails. One of them stammers that this is impossible. He says a 5th-rank ghost should never break it. Then he realizes his mistake. Everything is wrong. This is not 5th rank. It is 9th rank. Peak level, half a step from Ghost King. Sun Yin notices the charms drawn on them. She says it does not matter. She will tear those charms off one by one. One man screams for his body to move, even if his soul shatters. He refuses to fall into her hands. He begs her to kill him. He keeps howling for death. Awkward request form. Sun Yin decides dying will not be that easy. She says the 2 million travel fee is still unpaid. The man lunges, ready to die fighting. Mingkong screams behind his high monk golden body. He laughs like the shield came with a warranty. He shouts that it works and tells her to die. Sun Yin sees him hide behind a dead man's bones. So she promises to turn him into rotten bones too. Since they want to play, she will play with him to the end. Qian Fengzi reports to the old man about that monster. He says the three brothers have trapped it for now. As for the reward, he wants it sent straight to his junior brother's account. They will take a long trip after this. The old man agrees again and again. A disciple asks when his master will return. Mingkong snaps that he and his brothers will seclude for 3 months. They will study Buddhist law. Sure, very peaceful. He tells the disciple to handle the school's affairs. If anyone dares bother him, he will come back and peel their skin. Enlightenment, apparently. Sun Yin tells me the obstacles are all cleaned up. From now on, she will keep guarding me. Someone complains the dead really picked a place. The lake water was just changed, and now this mess. The old man says he just settled the fierce ghost matter. Now this adds a fresh murder case to his lap. The grandson asks how that is his fault. He says he already paid the money. Who knew she would fail to think straight? Besides, Mr. Qian is still around, right? He suggests letting Qian perform a ritual and scatter the woman's resentful soul. Neat, heartless package. The old man says always troubling Mr. Qian is not ideal. But since a life is lost, they still need him to clean it up. The phone says the number is powered off. The old man freezes it powered off. He cannot believe Qian would shut down now. Then a bad thought crawls in. The shutdown location is on the back mountain. The call time is also that day. The one speaking to him then was no longer Qian. That thing has been watching under his nose. He begs the honored God he worshipped for 20 years. He says the God cannot abandon him now. He begs the honored God to save him. He keeps crying for rescue. The altar stays rude and quiet. At the critical moment, not one backer is reliable. He calls them all useless. Projection, thy name is Panic. He phones the Qian family head. He claims to be old Mr. Qian of Haiqing Inshou Money's elder brother. He says disaster has struck. He tells them to name a price. He wants the Qian family's strongest ghost-suppressing heavenly masters. All of them sent over fast. Someone admits Mingzuan refusing to appear costs them a trump card. They are indeed short one hidden ace. But he asks if the other has heard of Haiqing's Yun family. They run a psychology clinic. It specializes in treating heart demons. Very niche, very Haiqing. Even Mingzuan fears them. Handling one red-robed ghost should be easy. If the Yun family acts, even evil gods get headaches from them. And even if the Yun family ignores this rotten mess, the Zhongyuan festival is approaching. There is Li Gao from southern border, and Wu Jia monk from Yunding temple. Any one of them can lift a finger and turn a fierce ghost to ash. Someone assures his master not to worry. They cannot escape his palm. Haiqing's debt will be settled right here in Haiqing. The more Yun family and Wu Jia people come, the richer the 99-day sacrifice becomes. A girl asks if the woman before her is Dr. Yun. Dr. Yun says she is, and calls the visitor young lady. She notes the sky is not even dark yet. She asks what trouble rushes the girl inside. The girl says she keeps feeling someone behind her. When she sleeps, she hears crying. She says people told her Dr. Yun can treat this kind of heart illness. Dr. Yun says she has medicine for normal illness. But this illness grows on someone else, so she cannot treat it. Medical plot twist. A man politely greets Dr. Yun's famous name. He introduces himself as Qian Lin from Jiangqing. Dr. Yun recognizes him as Elder Qian. She sees he borrowed a living person's luck as a probe. She says the Qian family style is truly famous. Qian Lin addresses Dr. Yun again. He says saving all beings is the Yun ancestral rule. Now evil ghosts are causing chaos in Haiqing. He asks if she will really sit by. Dr. Yun says the Qian, Yin, Yun, Lin, and Li families planted this disease. Now the consequence has arrived. So how did it become the people's sickness? Nice dodge, old man. Dr. Yun turns back to the young lady. She says the Qian family's rice bowl may be golden, but the rice is mixed with blood. While there is still time, she tells the girl to choose another road. Dr. Yun warns that on Zhongyuan, the coffin's fury. Dr. Yun warns that fury may turn the outer city to ash. Cozy forecast. She figures if this is about saving a child, then the Qian, Yin, Yun, Lin, and Li families can pay their own bill. Her task now is watching that number 9 pawn shop. 2 million has already gone in. Ouch, my ghostly wallet winces. Zhou Ming calls for his parents. He says he is sorry to them. He regrets inventing that so-called corpse-changing method. Someone greets him as little brother. Always suspicious. She says his forehead is so dark it could drip ink. She asks if he did something guilty, or provoked something he really should not have poked. Zhou Ming says he only wanted to earn manuscript fees. He never thought someone would actually practice it. Now his whole family is unlucky. He believes this must be retribution. The universe sent an invoice. The woman says she understands now. She tells him not to be afraid. She knows a master who treats impossible illnesses, and that master is nearby. Convenient, like Doom with directions. Using number 9 pawn shop to send people to meet makes this show more and more interesting. Popcorn, anyone? When a mortal writes, ghosts and gods sign the ending. Zhou Ming has no idea those casual words he wrote opened a very ugly gate to hell. Someone grumbles that this Yun lunatic just will not leave. The woman tells little brother to hold the card. She says that pawnshop owner can grant any wish, as long as he can pay the price. Tiny detail, massive trap. Dr. Yin stops the young man. She warns that the price inside that black card may cost more than the half-life he has left. She introduces herself again. She is Yun Jingxin from Tianqin Clinic. She treats hysteria caused by nonsense talk like his. The key point is, her first visit for poor souls is free. Finally, a plot coupon. The pawnshop woman says Dr. Yun is cutting off her income, and blocking money is like killing parents. Dramatic business school. She says this little brother's family matter might be too much for those few silver needles. In Dr. Yun's shabby clinic, Dr. Yun says the Lu Chun in Zhou Ming's writing has almost reached the ending. If Zhou Ming still wants to save his parents, then he should go with her. Zhou Ming calls them all lunatics. Fair, but rude. He says he must go to the hospital. He needs to raise money. The pawnshop woman addresses Dr. Yun. She praises her rule-keeping with sharp little teeth. She says Yun is stealing clients from the pawnshop owner. She asks if the Yun family's talisman can protect Yun for a lifetime. Dr. Yun tells her not to be so fiery. She says number 9 pawnshop's rolling interest business is basically loan sharking in the ghost realm. She is helping Zhou Ming cut losses and saving the pawnshop some effort too. How thoughtful. The pawnshop woman laughs and lets her talk. At midnight tonight, Zhou Ming will beg to enter the pawnshop. That Taishu heavenly book, they are determined to take it. Dr. Yun says the heavenly book has a spirit. It cannot be taken from anyone but the fated one. Zhou Ming has no clue what he holds. He thinks it is waste paper. Classic protagonist-adjacent mistake. But they want to trick him into thinking it is poison. If he realizes tonight that it is his fate, their contract becomes scrap paper. The pawnshop woman says they will see. Dr. Yin knows my Bayou Qilan body has already been stolen. If they also get the heavenly book, the whole world may have every spark drained dry. Yin Yi says Master Wushan must be tired from the long road. He assumes the journey wore the monks out. He and his brother Yin Shou have prepared modest wine for the masters, all to welcome them properly. Nothing says exorcism like catering. Yin Yi addresses Master Wushan. He admits the truth. They invited him from far away this time, for a major matter concerning the people's safety. They hope to borrow his Buddhist power. Master Wushan tells patron Qian to speak freely. They have known each other for years. If Wushan can do it, he will surely give his full effort. Yin Yi says his brother Yin Shou found an extremely Yin place in Haiqing. There sits a suspected 9th-rank red-robed fierce ghost. If they let it be, it will become a great disaster later, and poison the common people. Villains love civic language, so they want the master to act. Go to Haiqing, remove the ghost, and calm the people. Master Wushan repeats 9th-rank red-robed fierce ghost. He agrees ordinary people cannot handle it, but for his 4 fellow disciples, it is just a small dish. Bold menu choice. Yin Yi praises the master as truly advanced. He says he has heard. The master plans to build a large orphanage soon. If the master removes this great danger for them, Yin Yi will cover all construction costs. He will also donate a top-tier children's amusement park as thanks. The master calls this a great good deed by patron Yin, since it is to protect the people. His 4 brothers will do all they can for them and remove this evil ghost. Yin Yi says there is one more thing. This time the master came to Yunqing, originally, to compare Buddhist law with Master Wujia of Yunding Temple. So he wonders, why not invite Master Wujia to Haiqing too? Then they can conveniently compare skills and see whose power is stronger. Subtle as a gong. Wushan says he naturally has no objection. But Master Wujie is the local Buddhist authority. Whether they can invite him depends on Patron Qian's ability. Yi tells the master not to worry. He has already discussed this with Master Wujie. Wujie said clearly, when evil ghosts act violently, guiding dead souls onward is the duty of Buddhist disciples. Xiaosu asks what is wrong with me. She thinks I must have sensed something. That is why I am thrashing so fiercely. She wonders if the heavenly demon striking 7 killings is near, and that nearness causes the disturbance. Yi greets the two masters. He says they finally came out. Master Wujie apologizes sincerely. He tells Patron Yin he and Master Wushan clicked at once. They discussed Buddhist law, and somehow forgot the time. Happens when monks nerd out. Wushan says it is no problem. They will set out today to remove evil for him. Yin notes today happens to be Zhongyuan festival, the day the ghost gates open. Not exactly an auspicious day. He asks if the two masters can handle it. Wushan asks what of Zhongyuan festival. With the ghost gates wide open, it is perfect for uprooting this ghost. He will pull it out by the roots and clean it away completely. Wujie tells Patron Yin to relax. With him and Master Wujie there, a mere red-robed fierce ghost cannot stir up any waves. Famous last hiccup. Yin says masters truly are masters. The safety of Haiqing's millions is now entrusted to the two masters. One master notices a concealment spell has been set. The ghost energy is outrageously heavy. It is not a 9th rank red robe at all. Its strength is even above 9th rank. The master tells the others to stay at the foot of the mountain. The evil on the mountain is no small thing. If they follow, they will only get hit by accident. Yi obeys the two masters' orders. A master calls out to a reckless little ghost. He says it dares possess Patron Yin. And hide quite deeply, the ghost says she has a grievance. She says he is the one who harmed her. The master scolds the evil thing for chattering here. Yin cheers that his body is finally normal again. He says it really was that vile woman causing trouble. He thanks the master again and again. He thanks Master Wujie for removing the evil. After he returns, he will personally visit Yunding Temple and offer generous incense money to thank the master for saving his life. Wujie says Patron Yin is too polite. Subduing demons is simply Buddhist duty. At the mountain foot, Buddhist power stirs. Someone has broken in. Xiaosu tells me to stay calm. A master sneers that petty tricks dare show off before experts. He unleashes great mighty heavenly dragon. I find that a little interesting. They actually break my mist formation. The master calls the whole scene fake mysticism. He orders the hidden enemy to appear quickly. I say if they want to see me, then I will grant their wish. A startled sound pops out. Nice entrance, me. A master sees a void illusion with time disorder. He admits I do have some skill. I admit they have a little skill too. They actually broke my void illusion. The monk tells the female patron all things have fixed fate. Birth, death, and reincarnation belong to heaven's way. The monk says Xiaosu is already dead, so she should let go of obsession and seek release soon. Easy words, cheap as incense. He claims that would be liberation. Xiaosu says they ripped out her heart source. Our child was stolen by an evil god, and her husband was forced into demonhood. Hi, that is me. With that revenge unpaid, how could she possibly be free? The monk calls her female patron. He says hatred only drags people into deeper pain. He tells her to put hatred down and seek peace inside. Nice pamphlet, terrible timing. Xiaosu laughs at the word peace. She asks what these stinking monks know of hatred. Have they tasted losing their whole family? Their mouths are full of Buddhist virtue, but their hearts chase worldly fame and profit. Their copper stink beats the corpse pit. Impressive, in the worst way. She tells them not to think she cannot sense it. They keep preaching karma. So why help tyrants do evil? The monk cuts off the talk. He tells her to die. Polite temple service, gone. They realize this ghost woman's power exceeds all estimates. She is no ordinary ghost king. No wonder she dares act so boldly. The monk admits she has something. Perfect chance to test his Buddhist powers, apparently. A sharp yell cracks through the air. I declare that all of them have to die. Anyone who hurts my wife, I leave not one alive. They warn that once I pass the thunder tribulation, I will become an unstoppable monster. Flattering, really. One monk calls to Master Wujia. He says the heavenly tribulation is raging now. Why not strike while they can, and finish me directly? Wujia says no. Heavenly tribulation is unpredictable. Whether righteous or evil, anything near it gets hit without discrimination. Even a 1,000-year zombie, king wielding thunder, could be blasted into crumbs. Extra crispy. They decide to watch for changes. Someone says the Ghost King has gone mad. I am already a thing of extreme and evil, yet I still dare approach heavenly thunder. A monk chuckles smugly. He addresses Master Wushan. He thinks they can pack up and go down the mountain. Xiaosu calls my name. She says I finally succeed. We have finally endured to the end. The monks say Ghost King possession means nothing. That Ghost King's cultivation is weaker than this Corpse King. With it possessing and controlling the body, the Corpse King's strength only gets weaker. Heavenly tribulation restrains demons by nature. One tribulation already gives 9 deaths for 1 life. Now another demon tribulation stacks on top, so the power only doubles. They think I am rushing to die faster. Rude weather commentary. A scream breaks loose. Someone asks what is happening. He feels I do not belong to this world at all. They realize we have fused. They can hardly believe such a thing exists. It is simply unheard of. I do enjoy being educational. I tell Xiaosu not to cry from today on. She must make everyone who hurt us cry instead. I use heavenly thunder tribulation to temper my body and erase every flaw. Yeah, Thunder Spa, Nightmare Edition. They say it is impossible. Purple gold divine thunder counters evil. Yet I treat it as nourishment. They realize it is over. They have provoked something they cannot afford. Anyone who hurts my wife and child does not get to run. From this moment on, I settle accounts with them slowly. I laugh, because fear finally understands the assignment. I decide to start with him. I remind him today is Zhongyuan Ghost Festival. Soon the ghost gates will open wide, so he can fend for himself here. And he wonders why the 2 masters have been up there so long. They should have solved the fierce ghost already, right? He calls out for Master Wushan. Even Master Wushan has run away. He wonders what happened on the mountain. How terrifying is that thing? Spoiler, very. I know a monk can run, but his temple cannot. Escaping back east will not save him from me. Once I finish matters here, I will personally go east and tidy him up. My laughter follows him like a very petty thundercloud. Someone asks Xiaohao what is going on. Why is he sitting on the ground? And who am I? Xiaohao says I am Lu Chun. He points out that I am the one. The man finally understands. I am the zombie Lord Mingzuan mentioned. Xiaohao confirms it is me. He curses that bastard Wushan. Wushan could not win, so he simply ran. Xiaohao calls that deeply disloyal. correct, and pathetic. The man snorts, unimpressed by me. He asks what I am supposed to be. Does becoming a zombie make me invincible? Does that mean I can look down on everyone? I see Wujia and Wushan either ruined or running. Yet this weak mortal still stands there. Where does he find the courage to bark at me? The man tells me to listen. He says I had better open my eyes. Before I became a zombie, did I ever think about my two old parents and how they should live? A roar tears from me. I demand to know where my parents are. He repeats, my parents? Then he pretends to remember. Very punchable theater. They are guests at the Yin family, he says. If I want to know where, that depends on my attitude. Xiao Hao cries for his father. He screams for someone to save him. I ask again where my parents are. If he does not answer, he is next. Simple queue system. The man says he will tell me. He warns me not to think zombiehood makes me arrogant. Haiqing is not mine to rule as a tiny zombie. He barks nonsense as courage leaks out. He reveals Lord Mingzuan personally cursed that shock baton. I stand there coldly. I do not even dodge. He claims today I will be destroyed in body and spirit. Then he gasps that this is impossible. Mingzuan himself said it would absolutely work. So why does it do nothing to me? I see he still will not reveal my parents' location. And inside this thing, there is cursed power from the netherworld. They realize my strength has surpassed ancestral zombie level. Too terrifying, they say. I take notes. Someone says I clearly have not grasped all my power. My control is still clumsy. Yet even like this, my natural defense is already top tier. It cannot be broken at all. Once I fully control every bit of power, the result will be unthinkable. Sounds like a promotion. A mortal of this later age turning into a zombie has somehow surpassed ancestral zombie level. Even with his experience, he cannot think of a way to erase me completely. Now they can only hope in Southern Mao, Northern Ma, and the heavenly masters of Longhu Mountain. The man screams. He asks what I did to him. I tell him he has no right to ask me questions. He still has not answered mine. Where are my parents? I warn him my patience is not exactly bottomless. He breaks and says my parents are in Linghu community. Inside a villa in Linghu community. I hope this time he tells the truth. If he dares lie to me, I will show him what it means to beg for life and be denied death. He curses me as filth. He hates that I turned him into something half human, half ghost. He swears I will pay the price. His scream handles the rest of that sentence. My father tells my mother not to move. It is useless. They have been locked here for days. There is no escape. My mother wonders how I am now. She wonders if they can never see me again. I cry out for mom and dad. My mother calls me her son. She says I finally came. She thought she would never see me again. I tell my parents I came too late. I made them suffer so much. This is their son's fault. Someone warns me not to act recklessly. Otherwise, at his command, I can watch my parents' heads bloom. Charming threat, awful garden. I ask if he has ever bargained with corpses at a funeral home. He stammers, asking what is happening. I tell him heaven has a road he refused. Hell has no gate, yet he barged in. Since he wants an even worse experience, then I tell him I will grant that wish. Customer service, corpse edition. He stammers, asking what I did to him. He begs me to stop. Bit late for reviews. My parents ask what I have been through. I tell them Xiao Bao and Xiao Nian are both gone. They ask what I mean by gone. They tell me to explain clearly. I say they stole my child's body. Xiao Nian tried to protect the child, and she paid with herself too. I say they caused all of it. He is only one dog in the pack. The thing behind him is far worse. My parents repeat that something worse is behind him. They ask what that thing is. They press again, terrified and confused. A scream rips through the room. My parents ask again about the thing behind him. They need to know what it is. I answer, 5 evil gods. Wonderful, a whole set. Those evil gods have fed 5 families for 1,000 years. The Yin family is only one of them. They stole my child's body to make him a vessel for an evil god. My father chokes on the word vessel. They used his grandson's body for that thing. I say yes. Xiao Nian fought to protect the child. In the end, even her soul got dragged in. But her soul is still here, inside me. Crowded, but precious. I will bring her and our child back. My parents worry about Xiao Nian and my dark mood. They ask what I have become. I tell them I am a zombie, and the strongest kind. My mother says no matter what I become, I am still her son. She asks me to tell her what I plan to do next. I say what I face is no longer human, so I must change. But they must make a choice too. They ask what choice. They can keep living as mortals and be used against me anytime. This time, it is the Een family. Next time, it may be some other thing. As long as they can seize my parents, I have to hold back. Worst leash ever. My father realizes I want to pass power to them and make them directly into powerful zombies. I say yes, into zombies. Turning one's own parents into zombies. Back then, who would believe that dinner talk? But my father says I am right. If he and mom stay like this, they will only be my weakness. My mother asks me one thing. I listen as she mentions zombies needing human blood and biting people if hungry too long. She asks if that is true. She is afraid of what they may become. I tell her that only applies to low-rank zombies. I will make them extremely powerful zombies. Then they will not need to drink blood. They can walk in sunlight freely. No fear of peachwood swords either, nor sticky rice or black dog blood. My mother says that sounds almost human. I say in theory, yes. The only difference is they will not age. No old age, no decay. Maybe day after day, they will watch friends grow old and leave. And that may hurt their hearts. My mother says it is fine if they harm no one. She tells me to bite them. Mom is braver than a legend. I explain zombies needing teeth to bite people is also nonsense folklore. I can pass blood through my fingernail. It just hurts a little. My father says pain is nothing after this life. I tell them to bear with it. My father stares at his hand. He feels strong enough to punch through a wall. I tell him he actually can. They are now at ancestral zombie level. Across the whole world. Except for a tiny handful of top experts. No one can hurt them. My father asks what level ancestral zombie is. I say it is right below my level. Below that, 99% of monks, priests, and exorcists can do absolutely nothing to them. But I have to warn them about one thing. They now carry 1 drop of lifeblood essence. As long as that drop remains, they are ageless and undying. But if someone destroys that lifeblood, they die instantly. That lifeblood can move anywhere in their bodies. Ordinary experts cannot find it, but unknown masters do exist in this world. If they meet someone like that, any other injury does not matter. Only the lifeblood must be protected. It cannot be hit. My parents ask how to protect it. Then they say they understand. My father says they seem powerful now too. If I need help anywhere, they want me to tell them. I tell them not to interfere with my matters yet. My father says he and mom will go back first. They need to adapt to their new bodies. He tells me I must bring Xiao Yin and the child back. I promise him I will. I tell the man to get up and quit playing dead. I left him 1 dog life. Because I need answers about his family's evil god. I ask how to find it. He must explain every detail honestly. He asks if talking can save his life. He calls me brother and says he was wrong. He begs me to be merciful. He pleads for 1 pardon. His scream answers my patience level. I tell him I asked the questions, and he answers them. If he adds 1 more useless word, the length and pain of his punishment will keep increasing. Terrible subscription plan. I ask if that is clear, and he says clear. I tell him not to scheme so loudly in his head. Every reaction in his body, I can sense perfectly. Trying to trick or stall me will not work at all. He says he will talk. He will say everything about the evil god, but he admits he does not know much. He only knows the Een family, and the other 4 families are protected by evil gods. From ancient times to now, the 5 families have been tied together. They supported each other until today. I say I have heard that part. I tell him to get to the origin of the evil gods. He says the elders never mentioned it. He only knows they are called the 5 fiends. He is always called as 1 Dark Lord. I repeat, Dark Lord, and the 5 fiends were once 1 body. He says yes, supposedly 1 body split into avatars. Their abilities are also different. I ask what power his family's one has. He says he does not know, only that at night, it becomes wildly powerful. I tell him to say what he does know. He insists he truly knows little. At night, it can come and go freely, as long as they offer the required tribute. It can help them fulfill certain wishes. I ask how the family contacts it. He says a statue of the evil god is in the ancestral hall. He can use a secret method to stir the statue. I tell him we go now and use it. Walking is too slow. His son is already home now, so we go there directly. Convenient, spooky express. He asks what I mean. Then he realizes we are already back at the Een house. The evil god shrine is ahead. He can use the secret method to summon it. I tell him to move. I want to meet their evil god. Then I nearly remember something. He is already useless. He asks what I mean. I ask why he is staring and tell him to go. He is already an ageless zombie now. So having a son is not that important. Brutal family planning. Even if the true body does not look like this, it has at least used this face before. I tell him to remember that. Then start his little secret ritual. He begins the chant, tongue tripping like bad theater. He invokes divine and demonic light crossing. He chants about changing plans with the tide. He mutters about hidden hearts and inverted writing. He calls the evil god's honored spirit to strike earth. He begs it to hear its people. He pleads for it to descend through blood and use city souls as a bridge. The evil god's presence begins to answer. He respectfully invites Dark Lord to manifest. It comes. Finally, the ugly guest arrives. Dark Lord says I really do not stop chasing. I repeat his complaint about chasing. They killed my wife. They stole my child. And he calls me the clingy one. Bold. Dark Lord declares itself an evil god. I say evil is evil, but he objects to being called something as low as a demon. He says I have already achieved a supreme zombie rank. So why care about one's son? Great, cosmic parenting advice. He says it is useless. With tricks like that, I cannot hurt them at all. The Een lackey praises the evil god, naturally. He says this zombie is courting death. Adorable optimism. I call it empty posturing. I stand right here. I remind them they have 5 evil fiends. So why do they not dare come kill me? Awkward silence. Table for 5. The lackey wonders why they do not attack directly. Dark Lord says if they had not taken my son, I might not even have this great opportunity now. I say that really is evil cult logic. Every word sounds like it fell downstairs. Dark Lord insists it is fact. I say I not only thank him, I thank his whole family too. Very warmly, with claws. Dark Lord calls me stubborn and blind. He says if I am willing to join them, he can guarantee I climb to a higher realm. I tell him I am tired of his nonsense rambling. He admits I react quickly. True, they cannot do anything to me. But he claims I cannot do anything to them either. They possess 1,000 years of wealth and treasures, and contacts, resources, all the shiny villain furniture. They can hire people able to deal with me anytime. He asks what I will use to fight them, then panics. He sees the scarlet blood golden dragon I can dance. The evil god runs. I snort that it got lucky. I tell Xiao Su not to worry. I will take everything from those 5 evil fiends and recover all that belongs to our child. The lackey cannot understand the evil god's 1,000-year power. How could it lose to one zombie who has not been dead that long? Rude timeline. He feels a terrifyingly strong power. His own strength has risen a lot. He calls me Lu Chun and says debts have proper owners. He wants us to cooperate. Cute pivot. He says he can lure Dark Fiend out again. I say Dark Fiend deserves death, then ask about him. He brings up the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. He suggests we join hands. Together, he says, we can teach those evil fiends a brutal lesson. I laugh. The room probably should worry. Anyone directly tied to the Een family today will not run away. A zombie is born with 10 drops of essence blood. Different ranks need different spans of time to condense one supreme grade drop. That blood rests in the chest. Once given away, it will not recover without 10,000 years. I just gave my parents 1 drop each. 8 drops remain, but I cannot spend them all. As long as I keep more than 5, my strength will not be damaged. In other words, within the next 10,000 years, I can create at most 3 more ancestral zombies. That is, if I do not want my peak strength discounted. No coupon needed. 3 are enough. I do not need too many. Someone says the gate will not open. Something sealed it. Climbing the wall does not work either. Old Zhao climbed over and got bounced back. He vomited blood everywhere. Very clear warning sign. They say it is that thing. Before entering the ancestral hall, one person saw it. The young master exploded right in front of it. The servants beg me for mercy. They say they are only servants. They claim they know nothing. Popular song, bad lyrics. One says he was forced. I ask how many dirty jobs Lin's servants did for the Een family. They keep saying they were forced. When my parents reached that villa, did any of them ever think that they also had elders and children? The Een family worships an evil god and harms the innocent. After tonight, this family no longer needs to exist. One man says he is only a side branch member. He never took part in the shrine affairs. I ask where they were each year. When the Een family sacrificed living people, they say Een Shou made those decisions. They did not dare disobey. I repeat, did not dare disobey. So they peacefully enjoyed the wealth the evil god brought. Those truly unrelated, I will not trouble, but they must think clearly. Are they really unrelated? I give them 1 incense stick of time together. Those who cannot figure it out, I will figure it out for them. I am helpful like that. I tell them to stop wasting breath. How much blood stains each of them? My blood fiend formation sees it clearly. Their evil god has run. No one can speak for them anymore. The accounts that need settling will be counted 1 by 1 tonight. Someone calls for senior brother to come quickly. They call out to junior brother Wujia. They ask how he became this wreck. His pulse is extremely weak. If they do not treat him now, it is too late. They use Tethagata finger. Even senior brother's Tethagata finger cannot cleanse it. The evil thunder residue is too dense. The evil thing that cast it must far exceed common great demons. They admit it is stubborn. The purity of Tethagata finger is not enough. They need another layer of Qiyang power. He uses great sun Tethagata finger. But it still is not finished. They add the key golden light seal. Wujia wakes up. They use the Arhut golden body spell. Wujia thanks senior brother for saving him. Senior brother says brothers do not need that talk. He calls Wujia by name. He asks how Wujia ended up like this. Earlier, a strange omen appeared in the sky. Thunder residue and thick killing aura remain here. They guess junior brother Wujia met a great demon. Wujia says third senior brother is right. He was hit by the vicious thing that triggered heaven-earth omens. It injured him until he was near death. Someone says even if a great demon emerged. With Wujia's skill, if he could not win, could he not run? Wujia sighs. This was no ordinary great demon. It is a once-in-ages supreme horror. Senior brother orders him to explain everything clearly. Wujia says this horror passed through Corpse King and Ghost King states, and met a heaven-sent killing omen at the same time, that formed its supreme calamity body. Compared with the 4 ancestral zombies once famous worldwide, it is many times more ferocious. They gasp that it surpasses the 4 ancestral zombies. Wujia adds that it even survived heavenly tribulation. It absorbed both him and the tribulation thunder's golden force. Their master ancestor must come out of seclusion. Otherwise, living beings will suffer. They do love big labels. Their ancestor practices austerity deep in old mountains. They wonder where they can find him. Senior brother says the ancestor once left him a Buddhist seal. If Rulai sect ever faces disaster, he can contact him through that seal. But if the ancestor is in closed cultivation, he may not respond right away. They tell him to try quickly. Not a single moment can be delayed. He asks ancestor Anand to hear his message. He identifies himself as Shanxing. Someone asks whether contact was made. The ancestor gives no reply. They guess he is in closed cultivation, but his retreats never last too long. He should contact them soon. Wujia asks what use soon is. It must be immediate, right now. Otherwise no, the common people cannot wait. He asks senior brother if, besides the ancestor, he knows any other great powers. A junior tells senior brother to look quickly. That fierce general really cannot hold back. It is about to start killing. Such a huge manner. What a pile of sins. And paperwork, probably. Senior brother says besides the ancestor, he does no one great sir. But at a time like this, they snap at him for stalling and ask, but what? He knows of a thing called a powerful stone spirit. This one is suitable for dealing with a great demon. But he fears driving a tiger to devour a wolf, only to be bitten by the tiger. He clarifies it is called the Jinhai stone spirit. Inside is trapped a monk with tremendous power. That monk was sealed because he became too crazed. Now asking him to fight a great demon fits the problem. But again, it risks using one monster against another. Wujia says not to fuss. A crazed monk sealed inside a ritual artifact must have terrifying cultivation, strong enough that several great powers back then had to join hands just to seal him. Wujia says they cannot hesitate anymore. They must hurry to find this stone spirit. They decide to invite the great monk inside out. Bold museum etiquette. The thing sits in Haiqing No. 3 Cultural Relics Museum. If they break it open, the consequences may be too much to bear. One monk says he has never broken Buddhist rules in his life, but it is right here in Haiqing, so delay becomes even less acceptable. At this hour, the museum should not have many people inside. It is Zhongyuan Ghost Festival. By tradition, everyone goes home early at night. Sensible civilians. They decide to move. That makes them feel safer, so off they go. On Zhongyuan, security is down by more than half. Only 2 or 3 guards should be in the monitor room. The front entrance is too noisy. They circle behind and use Bodhi Pure Light. Pure Light can only hide their bodies. It cannot hide sound or aura. Sneaking, but budget edition. They keep their footsteps light and avoid touching anything. They find the Jinhai stone spirit. Someone says it looks like an ordinary rock. Can this really seal a boundless great monk? Senior brother asks if they know the legend of White Snake. A monk suddenly catches the hint. He asks if the sealed monk inside is Fahai. Senior brother confirms it. Their ancestor told him before. Fahai is sealed inside this thing. A legendary figure turns out to be real. Surprise, folklore has teeth. The great mighty heavenly dragon Buddha seal they practice was originally passed down by this very monk. One monk realizes his ultimate skill came from Fahai. Put that way, the source of the great mighty heavenly dragon seal is actually inside this stone. Someone says the reunion talk can wait. Outside, the blood mist is getting thicker. Senior brother's great son Tethagata palm can flatten steel. Yet this stone does not even scratch. Clearly, the legend is true. Rock 1, monks 0. They ask what method they should use. How can they free the great monk within? Even Fahai himself cannot break this seal. All 4 of them together may not equal 1/10 of him. Senior brother tells them not to worry. The Jinhai stone spirit seal is endless inward, but not that strong outward. With 4 Buddhist masters working together, they can undo the seal. Conveniently, they are 4. Time to work. A monk tells senior brother not to worry. They are doing this for the salvation of the common people. Even if the ancestor finds out, he will forgive them. Senior brother says they can only think that way. There is no more waiting. Everyone gets ready. They open the 4-foot Yang face blood art. Some hidden watcher notes someone still knows Fahai. That old bald monk has deep power. If he faces that supreme fierce general, he might actually stand a chance. The watcher decides Fahai cannot be left alone. Once Fahai appears, he will sense the watcher first. Wild laughter bursts out. Subtle entrance, as usual. 1,000 years have passed. Fahai is finally out. He thanks the 4 fellow Taoists for breaking his seal. The old monk offers his thanks first. They tell the great monk he is too polite. They claim they acted for the people's safety, remembering the teachings of the ancestors. They freed him to remove demons and defend the Tao, all to save the people and kill demons. Fahai senses thick, killing aura. He asks how long he has been trapped. How can this age produce such a supreme horror? They tell him this is exactly the thing. This thing is the world's greatest calamity. The moment it appeared, it began doing evil. Fahai says demons now run wild among humans. He looks at the 4 fellow monks. They are all golden body, Arhat-level monks. He asks if they want to subdue demons with him. They say duty leaves no room to refuse. One goes, then the others join too. Fahai accepts their answer. He says he will bring them there. I come here only to erase the Yin family. Others without strong resentment on them. I am too lazy to bother, since I still need to find 5 evil gods. For that, I need help from humans who know the field. So I cannot block every road. Inhao blames me for everything. He says he is already like this, yet I still keep chasing him. He asks what I want. Honestly, where to begin? I tell Ian how I originally came to collect him. He asks why I am waiting. He tells me to do it, since living means nothing now. I tell him his grandfather is dead. His father exploded too, so he can take that ruined body and live out a ruined life. He asks what I just said. Grandfather and father are both dead? I tell him the human world is the hell I give him. Living is the punishment I leave him. He says I am not human. He calls me a demon. Accurate genre confusion. I tell him he is right. I truly am not human anymore. Half a leg is not enough. He still owes half an arm. Then I sense someone interesting arriving. And not just one. He asks who came, and I say his death bell. Or maybe his saviors. That depends on their own skill. Fahai shouts at the bold, evil creature. He says I dare create slaughter here. He announces his mighty presence, and orders me to kneel, confess, and surrender. Inhao realizes the old monk is strong. I repeat his demand for confession. Then I laugh, because really? It is a joke big enough to need its own mountain. Fahai asks what I am laughing at. I laugh at these stinking bald donkeys. First, they do not understand heaven's law or human bonds. Second, they do not understand nature's order. Creatures that understand neither heaven nor humanity, nor the principles of nature, still wave fake mercy while judging others. To me, they are the real sinners. Fahai roars at my boldness. He chants great mighty heavenly dragon and the honored Buddhas. His spell rolls out in thunderous syllables. I ask if he attacks because he cannot argue. The others are too stunned to even scream before sending power. They help Master Fahai stabilize. A junior asks senior brother if they should act too. They cannot let Master Fahai hold me alone. They are already transmitting power and increasing the output. Group project panic. I think destroying Inhao's limbs. Still let him bring these helpers. Next time, I send him straight on the road. That would save plenty of trouble. Fahai declares they will subdue me today, all to correct Heaven's way. I ask what these monks know about Heaven's way. Someone gasps that it is impossible. The great mighty heavenly dragon palm cannot hurt me at all. I ask the big monk if that is all he has. His mouth promised more than his hands delivered. Fahai chants Amitba. He chants it again, louder but not wiser. He tells me not to be arrogant. Today he will show me what it means for demons to rise 1 foot, and Buddha to rise 10. I tell him to let me see it. The Om Mani demon ring is a Buddhist ultimate art. Once trapped inside, Even a Daluo immortal would struggle to escape. Fahai orders me to surrender. I repeat that a Daluo immortal cannot escape. Then I decide to try. I tell the big monk his tone is huge, but this little trick still cannot handle me. He curses me as a newly awakened brat and tells me to stop acting wild. He orders the demon not to be arrogant, then calls out great mighty heavenly dragon. This is Fahai's true lifebound treasure. It is nothing like that golden dragon from before. No wonder so many great powers back then had to join forces just to seal him. The force towers up. Well, hello drama. I recognize the Daluo spell. He can even use an ancient forbidden spell like this. The Daluo spell takes shape. Purple Heaven Divine Thunder gathers. The Divine Thunder is meant to kill evil. Fahai says I have nowhere to escape. I find this a little interesting. Purple Heaven Divine Thunder really counters killing aura and resentment. Taking it head-on is not a bargain. So I call up Extreme Yellow Thunder. Fahai cannot believe an evil being blocks his thunder. He starts to deny it. Impossible, he says. The big monk is short-circuiting. I admit his methods are not bad, but not bad is as far as they go. If he wants to deal with me, I tell him he is still far from enough. He should go back and train a few more years. Maybe then he will have a little skill. Tiny maybe. Fahai brings out the Vajra Pestle Demon Subduing Seal. A sharp cry cuts through. Well, that escalated.